and welcome back to my channel. Okay, I know I said when I first started doing these unboxings I would not be doing a treat box unboxing, but this month there is an exception to that rule. Oops, sorry, my shirt has a mind of its own. Tokyo Treat, as of this year, started a tracking and insurance program with their boxes, and I think this is a good idea for countries in which the postal service might not be the best, such as the United States, definitely for sure. I mean, I've had packages go missing for weeks and then show up out of the blue. And I've been kind of looking at it. I never did it because it is a bit expensive, because you are talking international tracking, which can be a little tricky because you don't know if your country is going to take and convert it to their own tracking number, at which point you're not going to know what the tracking number is anymore. But at least you know when it gets into your country. That's going to be the biggest thing. Now, with Tokyo Treat, they ask that you wait 60 days before contacting them to say, hey, you know what, my box is missing. Can you go ahead and send out a replacement? The reason for this is because within that 60 days, that box can just suddenly pop up out of nowhere. And they know this because they've been doing this for years. I've had this subscription for about 2 years now, going on 2 years in October. I've never had a treat box go missing. I've had a Kawaii box go missing. Their Yumi Twins box go missing. One time. It went completely missing, and they did replace it. This was before the tracking and the insurance. So, I hope the shadow thing is that a big distraction. But I really don't care. There's two of me. But, I decided to go ahead and try their tracking, because I do quite a bit of traveling, not very far from home, in the summer and the winter months. And I don't know when boxes are delivered, especially these boxes. So by having that tracking information, I can better know when these boxes land on my doorstep, so that, you know, either myself or my roommate can go ahead and pick up the box up off the porch. I can call up my roommate and say, hey, you know what, there's a package on the porch, go pick it up. Especially in the summer months or in the winter months. Summer months because there's chocolate and it can melt. Winter months because there is a drink in there and it can freeze and possibly explode, which I have never had happen, believe it or not. So that is actually quite extraordinary. Yeah, that is quite extraordinary. So there are two very big differences. So I do have two boxes here. This is an old box. I'm not going to bring it any closer because this is the shipping label. This is the traditional shipping label. It will have the address for the company, your address, your phone number on here. I guess just in case somebody from the post office needs to give you a call or something. Nobody's ever called me and said, hey, I've I just left a package on your front door. I wish my postal worker would do that. If they did, that'd be a heck of a lot easier. But this is always slapped onto the back of the package. Well, this is, I believe, August's box. And I did open it because it does have slight damage to the box, of course. And I think that was once it got to the U.S. A little bit of a story. This got shipped out at the same time as my No Make No Life boxes got shipped out. This box arrived this very same day as my August No Make No Life box arrived. So it arrived within 2 weeks, which is about normal. It's about 2 to 3 weeks. But I actually got to find out how these actually get shipped. And I always wondered if they went by boat or if they did go by air. If they went by air, did they fly over Europe or did they go from Japan into LA? And I did get to actually track that information. And for the US, these boxes go actually into LAX. So they do go into the LAX airport, as that is the international hub. And that is where the U.S. Postal Service will take possession of any of these boxes that are coming over from Japan. So again, that was a really interesting thing to find out. So let me find out where my address is on this package so I can cover up my address. So this package came with this taped to the bottom. Okay. Now what this is actually a dispatch note and customs documentation. And the funniest thing is, they've already got customs declaration already on the side of the box. So that was really interesting to find. It's like, wait a minute, there's another customs paperwork on here. But the biggest difference between this and this, you do notice that there is a small barcode on here, but this barcode does not do anything. And yes, there is a small code up underneath here, but that code used to be the code in which you would use for the streaks. Now they actually use code names for each month's streaks, which I prefer to go back, which I actually prefer that versus it being on the front of your box, because actually no, you can't actually steal it, because I actually did have 2 Kauai boxes at one time, and the great thing is nobody can steal your code, because that code was tied to your box. So if somebody else got your box and got your code from the inside of your box, that could possibly mean that you cannot use that code anymore. So I don't know, but I did like the unique ID numbers that were on the front instead versus what is actually coming on the inside. So let me see if, no, actually I can't see if those numbers are the same, because there is no little white sticker. I'm so used to this sticker being on here, but I did do tracking and insurance on this. Okay, so a little bit of a story on the tracking. I got the tracking number on let me see, when did I get the tracking number? I want to say I got the tracking number on the 20th. Because that to me seems to be right. So let me actually just look it up really quick. Okay. No, actually, this is my September box. I'm sorry. Okay, so I got the email on the 15th, and it had a tracking number. Now, when I hit the button to track it, it popped up that the tracking number was not in the Japanese mail system yet, and that it could take up to 7 days for it to pop up in their system. Now, I'm used to the U.S. Postal Service and it taking a few days, so they may not have gotten this out to the Postal Service until a few days later. But this did pop up a few days later on the tracking. Now, tracking is not up to date. It is not like, if you are in the U.S., it is not up to date, such as, say this package was on its way right now, you would not be able to see where it was at yesterday. You'd be able to see where it was at 2 days ago, but you will not be able to see, if it was scanned yesterday, you will not be able to see yesterday's scan until maybe tomorrow or the day after. So, it is not up to the minute tracking, but it still helps. It still gives you a bit of a window as to when that box is going to drop at your house. But, and even the delivery does not really get dropped until the day after, which is still a bit of an inconvenience as it's still sitting there, but at least I know, hey, there's a box. So it's a bit better than before. Now on to all the treats that are inside. This again is September's box, so that means it's my birthday box, which is another reason why we're opening it. So, and there's something already starting to fall out. It's the booklet. Caught it. It's the booklet and some treats. Okay, now I have not looked in here. I only opened it and that was it. So everything is actually in the same place it was when it actually got here. So this is everything that's in here. Again, it is jam-packed full of stuff. And I am going to have to... So this month's theme is fresh and tasty. So I will actually have to use this because 90% of the items in here do not have anything that I can read. Unlike my favorite, Pocky. I love it when they send Pocky. Because, yes, you can get Pocky in the US, but you can only get certain flavors. You can get chocolate, you can get white chocolate, you can get cookies and cream, but you know what you can't get? you can't get cocoa mint. You can't get strawberry. And you can tell that the ones that they're importing, they really Americanize them because, again, most of the writing on the boxes is in English, and on here you can read Pocky, chocolate, Choco Mint, and that's it. And on the back it does have a, just like on Kit Kats, it has a message box. It does say to and from in English, or dear and from. I guess that's their way of saying to is dear. I guess. I don't know. But there's something on here about checking the Pocky. There is a QR code. I don't know what that is. Ooh, there's a mystery item in here. I wonder if the Pocky is it. Nope. The Pocky is under the classic. And the mystery item actually comes under the classic section, which means if you would have gotten the classic box, you would have gotten a mystery item. That is actually new. So I wonder what the mystery item is. The drink is all the way down at the bottom of the box. I did not take it out yet. I said this is the first time this box is really being opened. Luckily, my house has been pretty much cooled. It's not been warm temperatures, so the chocolate I've been able to keep inside of the box. And that's mostly what I do, is I take out the chocolate and the drinks. I might actually pause this video and actually get one of the old Japanese drinks I have and an American drink and show you the big difference between them, because there is a huge difference. Big difference. Okay. So this... Sorry, I'm trying to match the picture with one of these other pictures, and I can't seem to... I'll come back to that item. Okay, so here is a bag of chips. These are Yuzu salt lemon potato chips. Salt and lemon. My uncle worked for a potato chip company. I'm going to ask him, have you ever heard of salt and lemon together? And hand them to him and say, here, try it. Maybe this is the new flavor. Maybe you can bring it to the U.S. and maybe you can get stock in the company or something. I'm not going to say what company, but I'm just going to say he just works for a potato chip company. Fried potato chips, I could actually tell that just by looking at the package, and he's holding a bag of potato fried potato sticks. Yeah, these feel more like sticks, so these are kind of like French fries, fried French fries. Again, you get such unique items. Oh, this is so cute. Mint taiyaki. Oh, it's broken. I can hear it. It's broken. That is the one bad thing. That is sometimes the one sad thing about getting things shipped internationally. Especially when there is a heavy drink in the box and it's being shipped. Is some items can get broken. Yeah, by the way, both of these items were from the premium side. This is from the classic side. This is mint taiyaki. Mint fresh treat is light and bubbly snack in the shape of a taiyaki, common Japanese fried pastry in the shape of a fish. So this is the fish that is in Harajuku, I believe is in Harajuku, that's shaped like a metacarp, that has a filling on the inside. Yummy. I can't wait to taste this. So this might be a candy. Kobaya watermelon gummies. You know what? This is a resealable bag. My throat is actually getting very dry. Oh. The one great thing about Japanese candy, especially when it's fruit flavored, is the smell. Normally you get anything that is watermelon flavored and you smell it and it does not smell like watermelon. It doesn't smell like anything. This smells like watermelon, and I mean that fresh watermelon, that really ripe watermelon, not that artificial candy smell, but it actually smells like watermelon. That is and it tastes like watermelon. Whoa. And it's not the gummy that you're used to in the US. As you can see, it's like all gone now. A few chews and it's dissolved. That is the one great thing about their gummies, is they have texture to them. They're not just, when is this thing gonna go away? There is like a texture to it. You bite into it and there's like another layer of texture to it. It's not just gummy, 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 go away. When are you going to melt? It's chomped down and just melts, and it becomes this grainy type texture. It's really good. Okay. The next, oh god, wasabi nori. This is probably going to be one of those things I will throw away. I do throw away certain items because I know I will not eat them. My friend knows this. On my podcast, I used to do a thing where it was called Trick or Treats with these treat boxes, and I would actually get through an entire treat box within a month on my podcast. And basically what it was I would put my hand in the box, grab something, I would eat it without looking at the package. No, I would look at the package, I would describe what the package looked like, eat it, and then I would look at the booklet. And the reason why it was called Trick or Treat was because it was either a treat or a trick. And this would have fell under the trick category. The only times I knew it was going to be a treat was when it was a piece of chocolate. Which, this is another chocolate item. Furuto Detective Conan chocolate bar. Ooh, anime item. And I typically will actually, if it's an anime that I like, which I've never actually seen this anime. This is going to be an item that's going to be tossed into my fridge right after I film this. I will actually clean out the wrapper, and I'll actually keep the wrapper. Anato Unabami, which is another thing that's... I'm not going to eat this. This is fermented soybean. I know I'm not going to. I said, this box, as I said, it just keeps going. Petite Kobaki rice crackers. Again, half of these items, if I did not have this booklet, I would not know what these items are. And sometimes you cannot go by the pictures on the front of the packaging. Or this is another item that's... No, it hasn't been. But this is melon bread. Yobikin melon bread biscuits. And the only reason why I know it's melon bread is because of the picture right here. And the picture the king is holding. I have not hit the bottom of this box yet. There's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items in this box. The next item I'm going to pull out is actually the drink item. Ooh, it's a watermelon soda. It's Kirkin watermelon soda. Now, the one thing you can't really see it. Yeah, you can. If you notice, they don't fill up these bottles all of the way. I'm actually going to get... Let me actually pause this recording really quick. Okay, I'm back. Okay, it might not look like I did move, but I did, because as you can see, the other boxes moved. The surface I had here is changed, and I have 3 bottles of pop behind me. Now, the reason why I have 3 bottles of pop are, one of these is an American pop, while the other 2 are Japanese. What I've noticed is Japanese pops, as you can see, from this one, it is very much below the label. The label ends up here and the pop begins down here. Now it's a little bit more noticeable on this Pepsi bottle. And this has not been opened. So I have not drank it yet. Yes, this is from Halloween. This is from Halloween of last year. Okay. But I can probably guarantee you, I could probably open this and it probably still has the same amount of fizz in it that it had last Halloween. This bottle is from January. And again, it is down below the line, below the label. I actually have to shake it to actually show it to you. Okay. And you might be saying, well, I can actually read the label. It says Sangria Sparkling Canada Dry. Well, that could actually be something that was in America. Guess what? That's all I can read. It's a Japanese product. Okay. Now, another great thing about these are, as I said, this is from January. And it is August. And this should... Yeah. That was the carbonation. This actually came from a different treat box, but I like it. It tastes like sangria. But you notice that huge pop when I opened it. That is because I believe Japanese soda companies highly carbonate their drinks. Because I just put this back on here. I'm going to put it back up here. Now, you heard that pop. That was the Japanese pop. This is good old Schweppes. As you can see, you can read everything on here. Weak. Still gonna drink it though. I like the sangria one better. I wish I could order that sangria one. That sangria one is great. I hope Tokyo Treat gets it because I believe that one came in a different box that I don't get anymore. I got it for a very short period of time, and I wasn't getting a lot of treats in it, and it just was not worth the money that my friend was putting out for it. And I just told him, hey, you know what, I'm getting more treats in Tokyo Treat. You're basically wasting money on that box. He meant well by getting it for me for Halloween because it was a cute box. They tailored that box company tailored the box to the holiday. Actually, that's actually where I got the Pepsi J Cola. And I actually had this once before within Tokyo Treats. And I really, really liked it. I really loved it. And I was so glad I got this in that other box. But I have not opened it because just look at that. Look at that branding. This is a bottle of Pepsi that will scare you or your siblings to stay away from your pop. Now, another thing about Japanese pop, this one won't do it. Coca-Cola, which I do have a bottle of Coca-Cola in my basement. I think it's peach flavored. And actually, that one's actually pretty good. That one is so carbonated that each time you reopen it, it's like you're opening it again for the very first time. Actually, you're still getting a good little from this. As I said, this is from January. Excuse me. And there is still fizz to it. I wouldn't drink the J Cola, but I'm filming at 10 o'clock at night. I need to eventually go to sleep. And J Cola Midnight is actually extra carbonated. But but it is actually extra caffeinated. And I do eventually need to go to sleep. So, I'm actually getting a lot of videos done tonight because I actually got done with my work week early this week. So, yay for me. So, back to the box. So, I'm thinking this is actually my mystery item, which this is actually interesting. The mystery item, we've included a mystery snack for you. Think month. I think they meant this month. You can tell English is not their first language, but we can forgive them for that because they give us so many good treats. I mean, these boxes are always loaded to the max. I mean, nothing really moves in these boxes. I mean, I pick up this box and it's like lifting a brick. My postal worker does not deliver it herself. She actually has this sucker delivered by truck. She actually tells the guys in the post office, y'all are gonna deliver it. I see that orange box. That orange box is going on a truck. And I do know that that is how my mail lady speaks. So, I'm not being offensive. I'm being correct. That is how she speaks. Because trust me, we've had plenty of conversations. We were both born and raised in the south side of Chicago, and this is how we talk. Half the time. So I think that is the mystery item, because I am not seeing a picture for that. And it says on here it could be a new item we haven't seen before, or a snack that is a blast from the past. We hope you'll love them. I've been getting this box for 2 years. Within the last 2 years, I know I've never seen this. So I know this is a new item for me. So, this is definitely going to be a trick-or-treat moment when I go to eat this. Okay, let's see, what is next? Cheese chips. I typically don't eat these. I'm not really a fan of cheese chips. I don't know why. Cola, soda, soft candy. These are actually really, really good. They always taste like what they're supposed to taste like. They taste like cola. You can't mess that up. Melon jelly DIY kit. I love these DIY kits. I have a ton of them. I have not done them. I could probably do an entire video of doing a bunch of these DIY kits. And last but not least, Gudetama custard chocolates. It's Sanrio at least. I don't like Gudetama, but at least it's Sanrio. I wish it was Hello Kitty. Melt in your mouth texture combined with the custard goodness. That does not sound appetizing at all. That might be something I feed to my uncle. Here, try this. I have done that. And I have gotten him. So, once again, as I said, this box is a really good deal. $35 a month. As I said, eventually it does get knocked down. As you're doing your streaks, it gets down to 10%, and then eventually gets down to 15% off. If you sign up for a year and then you put in your streaks, you can actually go down to monthly, and still you pay for the year and you're paying for 15%. And then you knock it down to monthly. As long as you've been putting in your streaks, you can pay monthly and it's still 15% off. But if you do live in a country where your shipping, your local postal service might not be the greatest. Oh! I actually missed one item. I actually missed something. I thought I was missing something. Soba. Jacobin. Jokin. Soba. This will probably be something I don't eat. But again, if you do live in a country where you do have issues with your postal service, I said they do have tracking, optional tracking that you can pay for. It is worth it. It is not minute to minute, but it is still great because you do know at least when that box has actually made it into your country. And if tracking suddenly stops on it, you can contact your local postal service and say, hey, look, this box made it into the country on this day. Where is my box? And you have a tracking number you can give them, and they can look it up in their system to see if maybe they changed it to a different tracking number, to at least try and find it, which is great. They kept the same tracking number within the U.S. for this box. October's boxes, if you've ordered early this month, they are delayed due to the typhoon that did hit Tokyo. So this month's boxes are delayed, but it's a national disaster. So that we can't fault them for. So I'm kind of looking at it as they'll ship it when they can. I mean, at least the company was, hey, you know what? We got hit by the typhoon. This is what's going on. Unlike some companies, we'll just leave you hanging for months, and then suddenly a box shows up on your doorstep out of the blue. That completely disappoints you. At least this box can show up out of the blue on your doorstep, and at least it will not disappoint you. So I promise this is going to be the last treat box I do. I only wanted to do one because I said I did the tracking and I did the insurance on it, and I said I had a great experience with it, so I wanted to mention that. So that's it for the treat boxes. I won't be doing those anymore. So until next time, keep on reading. Bye bye.